Closed.
Oh, close.
Mm-hmm. Now, we're going to go ahead and do 2x plus 3 when x is greater than 4. So what is our y-intercept for that last piece? 3. Okay, and then we have 2x plus, or 2x. So what is our slope?
Up 2 over 1.
Up 2 over 1. Okay, so I'm going to draw this line. And we're going when it's greater than 4. So I'm going to erase anything that is not, where x is not greater than 4. Open or close circle? There we go. And that is our graph. And then we are good to do number 11. Okay, number 11. Okay, we're going to start with the first piece. So we have 3x minus 1 when x is less than or equal to 2. Okay, what is our y-intercept for that piece?
-1.
What is our slope?
Up 3 over 1.
Up 3 over 1. Up 3 over 1.
Don't 2 in the class.
Now, y'all please stop talking, okay? Does it make sense for us to put any points going past 2 there? Because it needs to be to the right or to the left of 2? To the left. So we can just draw that in there. And if there's anything that goes past x is 2, we need to erase it. And will it get an open or a closed circle?
Close.
What type of line is 7 going to be? Horizontal. So I want y'all to draw in the horizontal line from 2 to 6. Then our last piece, so that piece should look like this. Okay, then our last piece is just x. What is our y-intercept for x? 0. And what's our slope? 1 over 1. So it goes up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, and it's going to keep doing that. And at 6, is it going to go to the right or to the left of 6? To the right of 6, so we can draw that in there. And will it have an open or a closed circle? Open. And then we will erase anything to the left of 6. And that is our graph. Okay, so we are going to get our practice papers out. So our yellow papers, go ahead and get them. And we're going to go to 5-2. If you are not here on Tuesday and don't have this, you can grab it from the Tuesday folder. Okay, so we talked about the first page of this. We did questions 1 through 6. The second page of this, we also did pages 1 through 6. Okay. So now we're going to look at the 5-2 page. And on 5-2, we're going to do questions 4 through 7. So on numbers 4 through 6, okay, the directions have which graph matches the piecewise defined function, and it wants you to graph it. It made it so that way you had to figure out which graph you needed to graph it on. We're not going to do that. I'm going to tell you which graph you need to graph it on, okay? So for 4, you were going to graph 4 on the middle graph here. Okay, and that has to do with how it is centered. So here, both of these are centered at 1. And then both of these, one of them has a negative slope and one of them is just at -5, so it needs to be further down. It just, instead of giving you, so you know how on all of these papers, I just gave you one big graph for all of them? Instead of giving big graphs where you could fit anything, it gave you very specific small windows to graph in, okay? And so we're just going to make sure we know which one to graph on. And then for number 6, you are going to graph on the first one. And that is the best fit for that one because it's centered at -2, and this one is also centered at -2, okay? And both of these have positive slopes, so they're both going to be going up a little bit more. And then the last graph matches with 5 because it's centered at 1 and both of them have positive y-intercepts. So that's why that one works best, okay? I know that's a little weird, but that's what it means by which graph matches. I want you to graph each of those lines on the appropriate one, okay? And then we're going to look at number 7 together as well. So number 7 says, a DJ is shopping for cloud storage for his music collection. He finds an online data storage with the following monthly charges. Okay, so all of this information gives us our piecewise function. It's going to be 29 cents per gigabyte from 0 to 25 gigabytes. It's going to give us 26 cents per gigabyte for 25 to 50 gigabytes, 23 gigabytes for 50 to 75 gigabytes, and 20 cents per gigabyte for over 75 gigabytes. So what we're going to do is we're going to write in us a piecewise function. We can name it whatever we want to name it. So let's just name it f of x is equal to, and we're going to put each of these pieces there. So we're going to draw in our first piece is going to be 0.29 times x when x is between 0 and 25. Our second piece is going to be 0.26x when x is between 25 and 50. Then our next piece is 0.23x when x is between 50 and 75. And then our last piece is 20 cents per gigabyte when x is greater than 75. So it asks, what is the difference in price for storing just 75 gigabytes and for storing 75 gigabytes plus any new music collection? Okay, so which of these equations would I need to plug in to figure out the price for storing just 75 gigabytes? For just 75 gigabytes. This is more than 75, the third one. Okay, so you're going to plug into f of 75, okay, and you're going to plug into that last one, or that third one, which is 0.23 times 75. Then, so you'll do that. We're not going to do that together. You can use a calculator. You're good. Okay, then it asks, and for storing 75 gigabytes plus any new music he gets, right? So we're going to take, and we're also going to plug in 75 to the last one. Because he's trying to decide which one he wants to get if he has around 75 gigabytes of music. Okay? So you're going to evaluate each of those, and then you're going to decide which one what's the difference in price for storing less than 75 and more than 75, and figure out which one will be better. Okay, so I want y'all to graph those three and finish that word problem out. Figure out what he should do for around 75 gigabytes of data. Okay, so I want y'all to work on those. That is 4 questions.